Good morning, boys and girls. Happy Sunday. We are going to have a few Sundays of our Sunday stories. We did all of our Christmas stories, and then we've been talking about the things that Jesus did while he was on earth and some of the stories that he told, our parables, right? And so we have a few Sundays before we have to start telling our Easter stories. We're going to read a book. It's called The Cool Bean. The author is Jory John, and the illustrator is Pete Oswald. You might know Pete Oswald. He is the author of Pete the Cat and all of the Pete the Cat stories. So in this book, he did all of the pictures, and they're pretty good. He's a good artist. This is called The Cool Bean. Watch out. Here come the cool beans. The cool beans. Oh yeah, check out how they move. Look at the way they swagger. Notice their sunglasses, yow. The cool beans are known all over school, from house to house, across town, beyond county lines. In the olden days last year, we were all one big pot of beans. We were a mixed bag, but somehow it worked. Yep, those were the good old days. And then we stopped seeing each other as much. That's just how it is sometimes. You spend less time together, even though you're not totally sure why. I watched as the beans I knew so well, the beans from my own pod, became the cool beans. Oh, they were so cool. One of them could play the guitar. Cool. One of them could draw the best superheroes. Cool. One of them could jump higher than any bean I'd ever known. Cool. Me, I mostly stayed the same. Sure, I made some small changes. I wore sunglasses. It says, too big. I slicked my hair back. Too slick. I strutted around. Ow! I swaggered. Oof! I was still picked last for everything. My clothes never seemed to fit. I snorted when I laughed. I walked into stuff. I was an uncool bean for sure. I started thinking of myself as just a common bean with no special skills. I couldn't compete, so I didn't even try. Aw, poor fella. It seemed like there were two types of beans in the world. There were the cool beans and the beans just like me. The days all blended together. I lived my life and things were just okay. I took tests and ate lunches and mostly kept to myself. The cool beans continued being cool. I mean, sure, I missed them a bit, but it's not like I was going to say anything. I felt like all that coolness had gotten in the way of our friendship. And that's how it went until one day I was in the cafeteria and I dropped my lunch on my loafers. Loafers are a type of shoe. He said, "Oh no, not again." But then something sort of miraculous happened. Out of nowhere, one of the cool beans helped me clean it up. He didn't even say anything. He just gave me a nod, and that was it. Later, I was out on the playground. I tripped and scraped my knee and maybe cried a little bit, and everybody saw it. Another one of the cool beans came to my side, and without a word, he dusted me off. That was nice. That afternoon, I was sitting in class. I wasn't really paying attention. I didn't notice, but our teacher had called on me. Everybody stared. I sat there in silence and nobody said anything. And then everybody just laughed at me. That was it. After today, I was officially a has-been. But then one of the cool beans stood up and came over to me. Everybody watched. She leaned in close and whispered, "Hey, the teacher asked you to read from page 32. Then she gave me a quick wink and went back to her seat. It was a small gesture, sure, but it was also everything. I walked home with a goofy smile on my face. I smiled all the way through dinner. That day made all the difference. It was a day that could have been really bad, if not for the kindness of a few cool beings. It gave me a shred of confidence. That shred of confidence has continued to grow. Somebody had my back, or a few somebodies. After that, I started hanging out with the cool beans again. Not all the time, but sometimes. At lunch, after school, even on the weekends. Throughout all of this, I realized it's not about how you look or any of that other silly stuff. It's about a wink or a nod or a smile at just the right moment. It's about dusting somebody off, helping them up again, and pointing them in the right direction. You need a hand? Yes, please. Now that's cool. Boys and girls, I hope you liked our Sunday story. It's one of my favorites. What I think about that story is it reminds me that no matter who you are, even if you're one of the cool kids and you like to dress up and wear cool things, it doesn't mean that cool kids aren't kind kids and nice kids, right? The coolest kid is the kid who helps others, right? Who helps a friend when everybody's laughing at them. Remember, we've talked about neighbors, so even if it's not somebody that you're really friends with yet, you can still be a cool kid and help them, especially if they're feeling uncomfortable. And that'll make you an extra cool kid. So I will see you next week, and I hope you enjoyed our Sunday story. Bye, friends.